Drone here, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Minecraft. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, he's gonna go lore busting, or he's gonna, he's finally back, and he's gonna like go start a survival series again. But no, guys, we are starting something new. We are going to be starting Minecraft theories about everything that's going on and explaining the entire story. Now today we're gonna start off explaining the Deep Dark and like everything about it, everything like that's new to it, and like everything that like adds up to it, and everything, like basically everything about it. Now, one of the main, so like obviously there's this thing called people back then. Ancient builders built an ancient city underground, ancient cities underground, and some of the ancient builders thrived in the ancient cities, but somehow a portal opened and unleashed something that like they've never seen before, and it's such a mystical type of block. It's called the Skulk. Now, people could probably guess it's basically the main part of the new dimension. But as you could see, it's like a living substance that, so like it's alive, and it came into the ancient cities. So they ran away, but before they did, they closed off the portal with hoping that it never comes back again. But some of the remainings still was there. Even after they left, they forgot to get rid of it. Now, this was a major mistake and led to crazy things that happened, and we are going to be going all over what happened. So like thousands of years later, the Skulk was still there and everything. It basically has given up on even trying to do anything. But millions of years later, when the ancient builders were gone and only people like the players like us were here, some people discovered the Skulk and wanted to study it, wanted to learn about it. So, and they did experiments with it, such as like using Skulk and like combining with something, like all types of blocks, but they eventually settled with the bone block. Now, they did not know what this would do, but it would lead to something very big. With the mixture of the Skulk and the bone, they created the Skulk catalyst, and that was a major problem. Things like died, and it grew, and the Skulk grew and grew and grew, and it eventually started making Skulk sensors, which detected anything nearby. Now, wait a minute. Sorry, guys. And then it also made Skulk veins, which eventually turned blocks into more Skulk, and it kept expanding and expanding. Now, one day, they were trying to design. They wanted to experiment inside the ancient city where it came from, because they knew it was living, and they thought it must be some kind of home. So they built underground to experiment with it, as you could see in the ancient cities, when there's redstone and everything connected to like the Skulk sensors and everything. Now, and they one day they decided they were being greedy and didn't want anyone to take their precious Skulk, and wanted to experiment more with it. So they tried to make a beast, and that beast was something horrible, but called the Warden. Now you're probably wondering, Drone, how would they even make this thing? Well, if you paid attention to what it looked like before it dug underground, it had the face, or almost like the facial structure of the axolotl, the cute and cuddly axolotl. Now, this leads to how the Warden was created. The experimenters took an axolotl and did horrible experiments on it. Horrible. Taking it apart limb from limb, using its bones, experimenting to make it living. And when they gave up to try to make it live, and everything was set up, but they couldn't make it living. After all that hard work, they realized it's impossible to make it living. But they realized that is not as true as they thought. So, the skulk is living, right? And they knew when something was killed by the skull catalyst. Yeah, I can't. It's hard to pronounce that. It turned its soul into the ground. Now, like, they knew that it was a living soul of that thing that was killed. So they extracted it from the skulk, the living thing, and made it into the allay, which was the soul of the mob that was killed. Now, before we go through the rest of this, I want to explain the allay a little bit, and its horrible story. So, the allay, once they extracted it, they used this for an experiment that we're going to talk about later, but they also used it for many other things. They took it into the nether and experimented on it and put it inside the nether and, like, checked on it later. Like, no. Sorry guys, I got confused. They put the skulk catalyst inside the nether and killed a mob and see if it was any different. And it created soul sand, which was the first ever soul sand that was in Minecraft. So, the living soul, and it was living in soul sand. So they decided to place things down like campfires and torches that are unlit to see what it did. And it did something pretty quick. When they came back, unlit campfires and the unlit torches turned into soul campfires and soul torches. Now, you're probably wondering, oh wait, why is the piglin afraid of, like, the sorry guys, you don't actually talk like that, but why is the piglin afraid of that? We've been wondering that for years, ever since 1.16 came out. Well, you see, they had a sense of how it came to be and how it happened, and heard the screaming of they maybe could hear something of, like, the screaming of the souls using it as a warning to get out of here before it happens to them too. So they listen to it and run away. Anyways, some of them went on the loose when they were doing that experiment, and they got loose and they got found by the illagers. Let's just say this wasn't good for them. They were trapped for a while by the pillagers, and then they were brought to the woodland mansions to the evokers to see what they could do with it, and experiment on it, see if this could upgrade their armies against invading the villagers, because they wanted to win the battles even quicker. And they came up with some stuff, and the evoker used its magic to experiment on it and do horrible things to it. And those two things include the totem and the vex. So he experimented on things like the first thing they experimented on was the vex, because the vex, as you can see, is identical to the allay. They even have the same wings. So, what if the evoker did magic on it and turned it into the allay, into an evil, bloodthirsty savage which he used as his minions. And that's how the Vexes were created, the horrible story of the Vex. Now, next up was the Totem of Undying. And you probably will cry you'll probably cry about this one, that's all I'm saying. But, like, you know how the totem saves you when you die? And what it gets destroyed. What if they put the allay inside the Totem of Undying, so that way, when you died while holding it, it extracted the soul living inside the totem and gave its life into you so you could still live. Now, after we told you what happened about the allay and everything, we need to tell you about the Wardens. How the Warden came to life. How this is all related to the allay. Well, you see, the allay was put in these things, and we're put in these things, and we're put in, first off, experimented on to see if it could do anything. For example, they first made something called the Skulk Shrieker, which had souls in it, which would give a warning for, which was a place to activate the Warden when it was called. But when they first did it, they were just experimenting on life. But once they figured out it shrieked in fear trying to get out of this block, they figured out they could use it to their advantage to call the Warden and let it wreak havoc and come out. But now that they found out that they could use the allay as a soul for the Warden, they put it inside. They stuffed it in, they put it inside the heart of the Warden, which activated it. Now you're probably wondering, why is he blind? Well, he does have eyes, but this is related to the Skulk and why it's on him and everything. Now, he was made to be a mutated axolotl type skeleton mutated thing. Sorry, my baby brother's in the room. But he sorry, I forgot what to say. But you put it in the evoker. No. I'm so confused today, guys. I cannot speak. But anyways, the Skulk used that creature that they created to its advantage. They used it to its advantage to make it into the protector. They saw that they could protect their type, which is also that could protect it. So they decided to take it over, but accidentally covering their eyes while using the skulls to take it over, which made it not be able to use its eyes. But it learned to use its other abilities very quickly, like hearing. Now, that is but eventually it got, but that's the story of the Minecraft Warden, guys. Sorry, guys, I couldn't really speak today. My baby brother's in the room. It was kind of stressful, but I still was trying to make a good video for you guys. And I hope you enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on all post notifications if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. If you do it, great. If you don't do it, that's okay too. But please, guys, it would be most recommended to subscribe, because it's like it's most appreciated, and it's free and it helps. I just really want you guys to subscribe, guys. I really encourage you to do it because it'll help out a ton. We do not have that much subscribers. I think we only have like 14 or 15 subscribers. Come on, guys. I know the Camo Army. We can do better than that. And so if you like my videos and you want to subscribe, please do so. Please do so. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and there's going to be more videos just like these coming up.